for the NAC Eastern Division Championship on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. 1-2 pitch to Rock. Here it comes. That one swung on and lined up the left field and down for a base hit. The Terriers will score a run. Rock will round first, and she'll be in the second base standing with an RBI double, and the Terriers lead it 1-0. Got to fight everything off here. 2 gone, top of the first. Terriers lead 1-0. Here's the 0-2 from Jones. In there for strike number 3, looking, and that retires the side. Terriers strike first. They lead it 1-0. This one grounded left side and through for a base hit, and this game is tied as they'll score Sydney Ames. It's an one-out RBI single for Kenzie Dorr, and we are knotted up at 1. Welcome back, live on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. It's the 2021 North Atlantic Conference Softball Eastern Division Championship. Eagles lead game number 1, 2-1 in a best-of-3 series. Alongside Alex Mooney, I'm Ethan Snow. As the Terriers get ready to bat in the top half of the 5th inning. Looking to try to get a run back, the only run they scored back in the top half of the 1st inning. It'll be Kaylee Fonseca leading things off for the Terriers. Jen Jones still in the circle for the Eagles. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike number 1. And Jones has really had the bottom half of this Terriers order on lockdown, Moons, as she has recorded 5 strikeouts from the 6 in lower on the order, as this one is going to be flung down the left field line, just gets into fair territory, and Kaylee Fonseca will have herself a leadoff single in the top half of the 5th.
That was an oddly hit ball for Katie Raymond out in left field to try and defend. Went just around, curved around that third base, got a little hop and a skip, moving out towards the bullpen for the Eagles.
Bree Figueroa will step in now, the center fielder for the Terriers. She struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. As she'll show bunt, pulls back. It'll be strike number 1. Fonseca will hold at first. It'll be Figueroa, Billings, and then we'll circle back all the way around to the top of the order for the Terriers.
Figueroa getting a little advice from the third base coach, taking a brief time out there for the Terriers.
Figueroa steps back in. No balls on the strike. Here's the pitch from Jones. She'll show bunt again, gets it down, and Bonifant grabs it, and a little bit of miscommunication between her and Jones as there is no throw, and Figueroa will reach.
Seemed like Bonifant almost didn't expect to really get that ball in that opportunity. Once she had it, not sure where to fire with that in result. 2 women on now for the Terriers.
So we'll go see what that goes down as. As of now, it goes down as an infield single, as Letitia Billings will step in. She struck out looking back in the 3rd, and the Terriers have their best chance since the 1st inning. She'll show bunt, pops it up to the backstop, foul, as Billings is going to try to move both of the runners up. That'll be the first strike on Billings. And that, yes, that will be an infield single for Figueroa.
It's almost a great high IQ play right there by Bonifant from the bunt. From Billings, almost caught it barehanded on that backstop.
Billings shows bunt again and fouls it off again. Just gets the bottom half of her bat, and she is quickly down 0-2. So Billings now will have to be up there swinging. Nobody out, top of the 5th. Terriers have 2 on after back-to-back singles, trailing 2-1, trying to tie this game back up. Their best chance since the very 1st inning. Here's the 0-2 from Jones, swung on and fouled off to the right side into the screen. So Billings fights off another one. Still with an 0-2 count. It will be Billings, Bailey Dunphy on deck. Then it will be Kelsey Courier and Maddie Rock. No balls and 2 strikes on Billings. Here's the pitch from Jones. Outside, it misses. Bonifant can't hit, control it. Scurrying down to third base is Fonseca, and she will slide in safely. And now the tying run on third base for the Terriers. Still nobody out on the mishandle by Bonifant, and that'll be the first ball on the count for Billings. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Billings. Here's the pitch from Jones. Swung on a miss for strike number 3, and Billings is retired for the 2nd time today. Only the first out as Bailey Dunphy, who has been the hot bat for the Terriers so far in this game. She's 2 for 2 on the day, doubled in the 1st, eventually scored, and singled back in the 3rd inning. And she'll come to the plate with a tying run. Standing on third base. Big spot here for Jen Jones. Here's the first pitch. She shows bunt, pulls back. Scurrying down to second base is Figueroa with a stolen base as the throw went right back to Jen Jones. And just like that, a well-hit ball from Dunphy can give the Terriers the lead back. Now with a go-ahead run now standing on second base. 1-0 count from Jones. Outside for strike number one, and it evens up the count, a ball and a strike for Dunphy.
Jones going right back to that go-to, hitting that fastball in that low outside strike zone, making Dunphy have to chase after it.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one inside for ball number two. Dunphy had to lean back to avoid getting smacked by that one. So 2 balls and a strike on Bailey Dunphy. Excuse me, 3 balls on Bailey Dunphy. Big pitch here for Jones. Here's the 3-0. Swung on a miss for strike number one. And now it'll be a 3-1 count.
Heavy fastball right there by Jones, putting it a little high rather than on that outside of the plate, making Dunphy having a little misconception on that pitch.
Jones waits for a sign from Bonifant. She's got it. Here's the pitch. In there for strike number 3, looking on Dunphy, and that's 2 retired. A huge pitch there from Jen Jones, and that's 2 gone for the Terriers. With a chance to tie this game, that'll bring up Kelsey Courier now in the circle for the Terriers. She has 2 sacrifice bunts on the day. First pitch to Courier, swung on and missed for strike number 1. Jones trying to get out of a spot here. Back-to-back strikeouts after back-to-back singles to lead off the inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled to the right side screen. And Courier quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. Big pitch here for both Jones and Courier. She steps back in. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 on for the Terriers. Here's the pitch from Jones. Swung on and missed. She got her. Jones strikes out the side, and they remain with the lead 2-1. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. You're watching the 2021 North Atlantic Conference Eastern Division Championship on the Husson Eagle Sports Network. 21 NAC Eastern Division Softball Championship, game number 1, best of 3. As the Eagles get ready to bat in the bottom half of the 5th inning. It'll be Whitney Best leading things off for the Eagles. Best popped out to shortstop, singled, popped out to shortstop back in the first. She singled and eventually scored back in the 3rd inning. She represents the go-ahead run for the Eagles as they lead at 2-1. As she will take strike number 1. Eagles trying to mount some insurance runs here with a 1-run lead. Kelsey Courier in the circle for the Eagles as Best swings and misses at the second pitch she sees, so she'll be down 0-2. It'll be Best, Kenzie Dorr, and Morgan Coleman due up for the Eagles this inning. So Best steps back in, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one misses low and in the dirt, heads back to the backstop for ball number 1 on Best. Terriers had their best chance to try to tie this game. Left the tying run stranded at second and the go-ahead run stranded at third in the top half of this inning. Here's the 1-2 to Best. Outside for ball number 2.
It's the second one Courier's let get way outside of the strike zone. We'll see if she's going to maintain her composure, if this is a potential 5-inning rally for the Eagles.
So Best steps back in. Now the count even up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the delivery, and Best swings and misses for strike number 3. And that'll be 1 going in the bottom of the 5th.
Kenzie Dorr.
That'll bring up Kenzie Dorr, who singled with an RBI back in the 1st and lined out to left field the last time up back in the 3rd. So she'll step to the plate here, looking to try to add some insurance runs for the Eagles. She'll take strike number 1 on the inside half. So Dorr will step back in. The ball's on a strike on the count. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. Evens up the count, a ball and a strike.
Dorr being a little patient on these pitches, which is good. Allowing herself to have time, pick out which ball she's looking to poke out.
Here's the 1-1 pitch from Courier. This one swung on and a little dribbler right in front of the plate, and they're going to rule that as a foul ball. And it'll be 2 strikes on Kenzie Dorr. So Dorr will step back in. Nobody on, 1 gone, bottom of the 5th. Eagles with a 2-1 lead, game number 1. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike number 3, and Dorr is retired on strikes. That's 2 gone here in the bottom of the the bottom of the 5th. Morgan Coleman come to the plate now. Coleman reached on an error her last time up and singled back in the 3rd. Coleman, with that single back in the 3rd, reaches hit number 100 in her Eagles career. Here's the first delivery from Courier. In there for strike number 1, looking.
Coleman, too, proven to be an excellent base runner. Will do whatever she can to be able to be safe on that bag.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Courier. This one swung on and lined up to center field and down for a base hit. And Coleman reaches for the 2nd straight at-bat with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th.
15, Jen Jones.
That'll bring up Jen Jones, who brought in the go-ahead RBI back in the 3rd inning with a base hit. Helped her own cause as she got the start in the circle and is still in the circle for the Eagles. First delivery from Courier, high and away for ball number 1. If Jones were to reach, that would bring back up Madeline Fowler. Courier waiting for her sign. She's got it. Here's the 0-1, and that one nearly hit Jones. Jones had to go to the ground for that one, and yep, they are going to say it got her on the helmet. So Jones will trot to first on the 2-out hit by pitch, and that puts 2 on with 2 gone here in the bottom half of the 5th.
Scary hit right there from Jones. At the tip of her helmet, luckily it did not go down towards her face. Instead ricocheted up, hit the top hat of her helmet, and she appears to be all right over at first.
That'll bring up Madeline Fowler. She has struck out swinging twice today, back in the 1st and the 3rd inning. She'll come up with 2 on and 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. And she will show bunt. It'll be strike number 1 on Fowler. Fowler were to reach, that would bring up Olivia McCarty. Fowler steps back in. Here's the 0-1 pitch. She'll show bunt again, pops it up to the backstop, and that'll be a quick 2 strikes on on Fowler.
It looks like Dunphy and Courier are agreeing on those breaking balls. Every time that Dunphy signals for a fastball for Courier, she doesn't like it.
As Coach Diane Ramsey gives a little pep talk to Madeline Fowler, struggling a little bit today, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And she will come back to the plate with a no balls and 2 strike count on her, 2 gone. Insurance runs on the bases for the Eagles as we reach the latter stages of game number 1 on this Sunday afternoon. Fowler steps back in. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Courier. This one swung on and popped up right field. Under it is Billings, and she can't make the catch. Coleman comes in to score from 2nd base, and on the error from Billings, the Eagles have themselves a 3-1 lead.
We talked about that earlier in the pregame for those that weren't listening. Clear skies, awful bright today. Makes those outfielders' jobs a lot tougher when they have to look out right into the sun to catch that ball.
So the Eagles now find themselves with a 3-1 lead with 2 out. Olivia McCarty steps to the plate for the 3rd time today. She flew out to left and struck out swinging. She'll come to the plate with a chance to add more runs as she'll swing and line this one foul down the right field line and out of play for strike number 1. So on the E9, the Eagles played another one. They now lead it 3-1. McCarty sets back to the plate. Here's the 0-1 from Courier. That one low for ball number 1. Be a ball of strike on McCarty. Jones standing on 3rd base. Fowler on 1st. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Courier. Swung on a line right back up the middle for a base hit. That's going to score Jones. Rounding 2nd is Fowler. And she's going to be sent on home after the misplay. Here's a 3rd down. And she is safe. It is a 2-out, 2 RBI single for Olivia McCarty. And the Eagles lead it 5-1.
Talk about that base running and attention right there from Fowler. She was coming 2nd. Her 3rd base coach said, do not stop. Absolutely having faith and trust in her staff. Brings it all the way home, makes it about tad 2nd earlier from Dunphy.
Might have been a misplay out there by Bree Figueroa. That managed to bring home Fowler all the way from 1st base. And that gives the Eagles a commanding 5-1 lead here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. in game number 1 of this Eastern Division Championship Series.
Eagles went from having a pretty tight game right at the fingertips of the Terriers, going to a little insurance run, to bringing it now into territory where they really like to see the games go into.
So I believe that'll be scored. It'll be just one RBI for McCarty. It'll be an RBI single for McCarty. She'll advance to second on the E8, and that second run scores on the E8. But either way, it'll be a 5-1 lead for the Eagles. As stepping in for the third time today is Katie Raymond. Raymond grounded out to third base and struck out swinging in 2 at-bats today. Raymond trying to keep it going for the Eagles. Now with a 5-1 lead, here's the pitch. That one swung on and grounded foul left side.
And the past couple hits, regardless of foul or not, from these Eagles players, they've been absolute rockets. So the last one just by Katie Raymond, absolute hammer, just went right into left foul territory. If they can put these up out in the outfield, this game will be a lot different.
Here's the pitch to Raymond. This one's going to be fouled right back to the screen, and that'll be 2 strikes on Raymond. If Raymond were to reach, that would bring up Katie Windsor. If Windsor were to keep it going, it would circle back to the top of the order. Here's the 0-2. This one swung on the line, foul down the left field line. And Raymond stays alive.
Raymond replicating the exact same foul ball she just had, just this time not able to quite keep it in fair play.
So Raymond sits back to the plate, has fought a couple off. Courier trying to get out of the inning. Here's the pitch. This one swung on and fouled off again behind us, out of play. Raymond trying to keep the battle going here.
Courier's trying to get Raymond to chase. However, it's not necessarily working. She's chasing on some of them. However, she's keeping it right in the foul play.
No balls and 2 strikes for Katie Raymond. Here's the pitch. This one swung on and popped up middle infield. Coming on for it is Courier, and she'll make the grab on the run to retire the side. Not without 3 runs for the Eagles on a couple of errors. They lead at 5-1. We head to the top half of the 6th. You're watching the North Atlantic Conference Eastern Division Softball Championship Series on the Husson Eagle Sports Network.